Good morning. I'm Trent. That's Kate. I want to say first off, you know your leadership is really good at getting newcomers involved quickly in the community of the church. And that's a really good thing, except maybe when it involves public speaking, especially in a moving church service. So I hope you bear with us. Kate and I first started coming to this church pre-Christmas, and we were immediately deeply moved by the kindness, the warmth, and also the serious practice of worship that takes place here. These were all qualities that really drew us and kind of drew us back home, because we had practiced as Episcopalians for a couple of decades in Georgia. We actually were married in an Episcopalian church. So coming back here has felt like returning home a little bit. Our first visit here was during Advent, and there was plywood all across the front. You couldn't see any of this beautiful stuff. There was no altar rail, and there were these straps kind of peeking above the plywood that looked like, oh, I think that's an altar that might be floating in air or something. And so we knew there's a major renovation going on here. And as we worshiped every week during Advent, it felt a little bit like Christmas morning every week, because, oh, there are new things. There's prettier things. Things are getting finished. And then at Christmas, I believe it was, that the plywood was down and you could see all of this. I hope I got my timing right. But anyway, it was like amazing. And we have both been so impressed by all the hard work that has gone before we showed up here. And I've been through a couple of church renovations in my adult life, and I know how stressful and how much hard work and time and energy and treasure goes into making these things happen. So we kind of felt like, oh, we're getting all these benefits and we didn't have to do all that work ahead of time. It's like, oh, but wait, there's another stage. And in a way that's really good, because we want to be a part of that stage and plan to be. So, and I just want to say, we attended the Short Halls home visit meeting of discussing the details of this second stage, kind of the final lap of this long journey you've been on. And I was so impressed with the thoughtfulness and the detail and the aesthetics and the support of the larger mission of Christ and Christianity to serve. That lower last stage improvement is where so much of y'all's service happens. And it's wonderful that not only do we get to enjoy this wonderful space to worship and connect with God, but also that those we serve in the lower level will also have similar quality experiences. In fact, it's kind of wonderful to see the AA group meeting out in the Northex rather than downstairs during the summer, because they're kind of right by the service, the church, the beauty. Anyway, so I really want to say that God has felt very present here, and that I think God would be so pleased how you've beautified and strengthened the power of this beautiful temple, and also following Christ's example, doing the service work as well.
Well, Mother Kim asked us to keep it to 2 or 3 minutes, so I'm gonna speed mine up, I hope. But I did want to let you know that when I think about giving, you know, I'm like Trent. We were both talking this morning that we're kind of nervous about talking this morning. And I was like, in my former life, I had to give keynotes. They expected 45, 60 minutes every time. And I was like, what's this about that I'm so nervous? And I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know, when you're talking about something academic, it can be somewhat impersonal. But what we're talking about this morning is personal. Giving of any kind, whether it's our time, our talents, our finances, it's deeply personal. And whenever we have a deeply personal endeavor, you know, those self-reflective things kick up, like identity, belonging, worthiness. Trent and I, as he mentioned, we've been through this several times in our married life together, supporting our church family, and we've always felt very honored to be able to do that. But we've also noticed that we have sort of a cycle where every time the giving comes up, we kind of get frozen in this space between the ideal of what we wish we could give and the good, what we're able to give. And we have thought about it, and we've like, we can't let the ideal be the enemy of the good, right? But I'm going to share something personal with you. Years ago, I was a struggling single mom, as before I messed with the best man in the world. And I remember being part of a faith community, and we had some time where we needed to give, and I got so frozen in that tension between the ideal and the good that I minimized my participation so much I didn't give. And I deeply regret that, not for the few dollars it would have contributed to the campaign, but more for the fact that I minimized my ability to participate in something greater than myself. I minimized my own worthiness. So I want to leave you today with the thought, don't let the ideal be the enemy of the good. Give in whatever way you can, whenever you can. And then absorb the blessing of feeling like how wonderful that we are to be able to give in whatever manner we can. Because I believe that the kingdom of God values each of us, and all gifts are worthy.